Hi, my name is Rodney Sloan. I'm Director of Panoptic's Platform Services for Johnson Controls. And I'm here to talk about, there's an app for sustainability and everything else. Big data is a big topic that's talked about in the enterprise nowadays. As storage costs have gone down and processor speeds have gone up, it's become much more affordable to store all kinds of historical data. When you start looking at the building and all the data that's coming out of the building, when you look at the BAS and you look at all of the equipment that the BAS is connected to and controlling, you're looking at all the various points that are pumping interval data out 24/7, 365. Building data absolutely qualifies as big data. When you start multiplying that across all of the various buildings you might have in an enterprise or a campus, it becomes very difficult to actually make that data usable, to pull really good analytics out of that data. Well, let me paint a vision for you. What if we're able to take that data from a specific building, normalize it in a common way, normalize it across multiple buildings of your enterprise or your campus, push it up to a very secure cloud where it's aggregated so that you can look at all your building data at one time, use standard protocols so that trusted application providers can gain access to that data if you want them to, and then provide you in-depth analytics and more insight into your buildings. Well, that vision is reality today with Panoptics. Panoptics being a building data platform that aggregates that data in the cloud, but also makes it available to other solution providers that you choose to gain access to that data to provide you those insights. Panoptics also provides applications itself, which are core applications that anyone that purchased Panoptics would be able to get. These applications would include things like monitoring your equipment for faults that might impact operational efficiency and comfort. Applications that basically look at your utility bill information and compare that with your actual usage and carbon emissions. Tools that provide benchmark analysis and forecasting. So all those kind of tools come with Panoptics out of the gate. But all of the data that we're providing, there's so much more that can be done with it. That's why we open it up for trusted partners to also leverage and build applications out and make those available to you, the customer. The applications that we have on Panoptics aren't just for optimize and retrofit and operate and maintain like you would expect from Johnson Controls. It covers all of the areas of the building lifecycle. So we would have core apps that focus in specific areas, and we have partner apps that would cover the full spectrum as well. So you can get a total solution for all of your building data off of this one platform. It's not really geared for just one role within an enterprise. You would think facility director. No, it's geared towards any stakeholder within the building, within any of these building life cycle areas. You may find the same application has different personas using it depending upon the area of the building life cycle that you're in. So I'd like to focus on a couple of trusted partner apps that are out on our marketplace. The first one being Building IQ with their predictive energy optimization. Building IQ basically takes building data from Panoptics, the spaces, what equipment is in the building. It takes the interval data and all of the historical data. It basically builds a thermal profile of your building. It takes that data, that thermal profile data, and it measures it with weather forecasts. It measures it with current energy costs. And it comes up with the most optimized schedule and set points that you need to maintain the level of sustainability that you would like. It then interacts directly with Metasys to drive those schedules and set points automatically real time. Another great trusted partner is BuiltSpace. BuiltSpace has a portfolio manager. It's often used in the construction phase. It's often used when you're doing retrofits and adding a lot of new equipment. It helps manage and monitor inspections, certificates, compliance. It really creates a nice collaborative work environment between all of the building stakeholders and all of the service providers and equipment providers. This application would run on a phone, a tablet, or your desktop. Lucid, yet another trusted partner of ours, has a fantastic solution for dashboards and kiosks. They pull data from Panoptic's building data, how many buildings are in a campus, how many buildings are in a site. They also pull meter data in terms of demand and consumption data. And they're able to display it in a very easy to understand way on a screen. Plus, they can show an entire campus. They can show all of the buildings. And you can navigate to each building. They can compare usage from one building to another, one floor to another. Their solution is often used when there are competitions, energy type competitions, to help show and display. And it's also used for C-level, just to kind of understand what energy is being used at any point in the day. With their offering of Building OS, customers are actually able to commission meters and points themselves, self-commission it, as long as Panoptics already has it in its database. One other app I want to show is an app that Microsoft created. It's currently a prototype, but we do plan to commercialize it. And it's basically pulling meter data, current meter data, and comparing it with historical peaks. This is a school district. They have about 26 buildings. All those buildings are shown in this interface. And when they're comparing current usage versus 1 year historical usage month to date, you can see if it's under the peak, it's green. If it's within a 10% threshold, it's yellow. If it's over peak, it would be red. I don't see any that are red right now, and this is real-time data. So this isn't demo data, this is production data from Central Bucks. If it's blue, that means that the meter is offline. So just from an easy view, you have a great idea of what's the performance within your enterprise. And you can also gain more fidelity by selecting any one of the particular buildings. Now this is built on Windows 8.1 on this new Surface 2 machine. Windows Azure is back end with some of the data. And so it has rendered, and you can see now with a little more fidelity the actual consumption today versus what the peak was. You can see in this particular view there was certainly an anomaly. And in talking to the facilities manager at Central Bucks, that was a day in October that was really hot, and they had to really crank up the air conditioning. So they were able to really determine what that was. One other great thing about this is if I want to share this report, all I have to do is hit share, mail, and it will then send this report to whatever email that I want. So these are great apps. I mean, there are dozens of application areas within the building lifecycle. We have close to 70 of those application areas already in Panoptics. So there is an app for that already in Panoptics. Our ecosystem continues to grow as we add more data to Panoptics, more capabilities. We're constantly working with new trusted partners that we certify to put out on our marketplace. So take an opportunity to check the marketplace out and see if there's a solution on there for the challenge that you face on a day-to-day basis.